what we are discussing is one of the options of e-commerce sales, which is drop shipping. Okay. And we will be talking in detail about that in the coming session itself. The objectives of this session is number one, to understand what is drop shipping. You know, secondly, the right approaches to drop shipping. You know, what should we once we understand what is drop shipping, then certain tips and all, and how to choose the best drop shipping suppliers. Besides that, if any individual has any experience in drop shipping or on this particular subject, request you to share, to kindly let me know, because then I will invite you to share your experiences also. And with that, moving ahead, I see that my good friend Carol has joined in from Boston. Oh, how are you doing, Carol? All well there?
It's raining. It's raining, raining, raining. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh, well, I just, if there was a process, if there was a method in Zoom by which I could fly you to India, I would call you here. No rains here, okay? Don't worry. Uh, yeah.
Yes, because I love to wear sandals. Yes.
But then, there you're all bundled up. Here it is just the other opposite, t-shirts also. We feel hot in t-shirts, temperature going over 45, somewhere around 80, 90, around what your conversions, you know. Okay, so getting back to drop shipping. Okay, now, first things first as to what is drop shipping. Drop shipping is a type. I mean, these are, I'm trying in this presentation, I will be trying to explain using various sentences and various, explaining them in detail. One of the ways in which we explain drop shipping is that it is a type of retail fulfillment method. Okay. Retail fulfillment method means, a question of supplying units. You know, retail units means one or two or five a kind of units there for online stores. You know, it is all done online. Online means on the digital platform, and since it has to be done live, these are all internet-ready stores, as we call them. Secondly, the drop shipper as such, they act as a storefront. I mean, we build a website or we build an e-commerce site, and in that site is basically it is a storefront. Okay, a storefront where the customers who visit that site, they can see, the goods that are there, and that is what a drop shipper is also. Besides that, it is also called, okay, in business terms, it is called an arbitrage business. Okay. The explanation of arbitrage business is something which I will be sharing. It is an investment strategy. Okay, this is slightly more on the technical side, but it makes understanding easy, in the sense that it is an investment strategy in which an investor, okay, investor means ourselves, okay, simultaneously, the word is simultaneously, okay, keyword here is simultaneously, buys and sells an asset in different markets to take advantage of price difference and generate a profit there. Okay, so what we are doing as a drop shipper, we are buying from one place, we are selling it at another place at the same time. At the same time, and while doing so, there is a certain amount of profit which we have kept for ourselves. That is what is called as an arbitrage mode or arbitrage model of business. Now, Moving ahead, how does it drop shipping work? That was all about drop shipping, but how does it? Now, drop shipping from a management point of view, it is a supply chain management method, okay, which involves now in a supply chain there are various people involved or various categories of individuals involved. So it is a method, it is a management, it is a supply chain management method. And what is a supply chain management? It is a network of suppliers, materials, manufacturers, and the retailers involved in the creation and distribution of a product from production to customer delivery. Okay. Another way to put it in very simple terms, the manufacturing process is the same, but then one of the things is since there's a supply chain. So after the manufacturer comes in, the wholesalers, then come in the retailers, and after that, come in the customers or the consumers, the end consumers, as we call them. Managing that, managing our work in between that, that is what is called as drop shipping, and that is how it works. Now, the parties that are involved in drop shipping are, first and foremost, is the manufacturers. Now, what the manufacturers do is they create the products. Number one, they create the products, and followed by that, they usually don't sell to the public. Public means end users. They don't sell directly. They manufacture and they sell it in bulk to the wholesalers and retailers instead. That is whom, their what you could call it, forwarding to the goods of the goods, and still the wholesalers and or the retailers there. Now, after that, after the manufacturers, there comes in as the another element, which is wholesalers. Now, wholesalers, they buy the products from manufacturers and then mark them up before selling them to the retailers. This is business. It is not, a charity. So any individual who is in this supply chain is kind of, is also making money for themselves. So the wholesalers also, they buy the products from the manufacturers. They are the first middlemen, as we call it. And before selling it to the retailer, they mark it up slightly. Okay. One of the advantages of wholesalers is that they stock products from a variety of manufacturers. Okay. So these are wholesalers basically. After that comes in the retailers. Drop shipping as an individual, okay, with the lesser amount of capital, I would say, is the retailers is the stage where most of us enter the drop shipping market. Okay. And what a retailer does is they sell their products directly to the public at a market. When we say directly to the public, it means to the end consumer or the customer. Right? That is known as the public as such. Besides that, the last chain, the last end of the chain is customers. Okay. The customer, they buy the product from the retailers. So to recap again, the manufacturer produces the goods, the wholesaler buys the goods from the manufacturers and stocks them. They stock them also. Retailers, they sell, they only sell, they do not stock. Okay. And that they do that through their online presence there. And the customer is any individual who is there on the internet, who is looking for a product, comes across your site and buys the product there. So that is what, and the retailers is something which are who are called drop shippers. This method is for drop shipping. Now, the cycle of drop shipping, okay, is number one. How does it work? The retailer, they set up an online store and add products from wholesalers or manufacturers. Wholesaling, a very what we call it, an organization like say Alibaba or AliExpress as it is called, Amazon or eBay. They have two categories. One, they sell to the public at unit prices or to their customers. The second is they also look for for individuals who can sell on their behalf. Selling, drop shipping is a method of selling. Okay. So this is slightly different from what we call it from affiliate marketing, or what we did yesterday. The retailers, what they do is when they see these products, they set their own price. Okay. Own price in the sense that, say for example, if at Amazon I come across there is a very good deal that I see there, which I feel that my customers can buy at. I find that there is a deal for a notebook, and that particular notebook, the paper notebook, they are selling at say 5 rupees or say 50 cents. I take that same article, I price it at say $2 because I know my customers can pay $2. And then when the customer places the order, they place the order at $2 on my site here. Okay. So the price that is set is the retailer's price and not, the price of the manufacturer. The customer buys the product from the online store or from the retailer's store at the price set by the retailer. Right? Here, the manufacturer or the wholesaler, they do not, define the price as such. And after the customer buys the product, simultaneously, the retailer places the same order to the manufacturer or the wholesaler. So at one point, customer is buying. At the second point, retailer is also buying from the wholesaler and selling it to the customer. So this is, what is known as an arbitrage business. We are buying from one place, marking up the price and selling at another place there. The best thing about this business is that first thing, no inventory. Second thing, no shipping. The shipping is entirely done by the wholesaler or the manufacturer. They ship the products to the customer. Right? So the retailer is just a middleman, right? And they act just like a middleman working on a commission. And that sale is also from their website. In affiliate marketing, it was directing the people to buy from the parent company. Here, no, it is within the website of the retailer. The retailer, they earn their profit by keeping a margin on every product. Like the retailer, since they define the price, they earn a profit from there. And after they have received the money, and after the order has been confirmed, and when they pass on the order to the wholesaler or manufacturer, they pay the wholesaler or manufacturer. The retailer, they pay the wholesaler or manufacturer. in a nutshell, this is the flow or the cycle of of the of this particular trend of e-commerce. Right. Now, going into any business that we go into, we need to understand the pros and cons of a dropship. Okay. Now, some of the pros. First, let's discuss the pros of dropshipping. The pros of dropshipping are, number one, to begin with, low cost of starting and maintaining the business. Okay. Low cost in the sense that all that we need to do is create a website. Okay. And outsource, and look for dropshipping companies who offer the dropshipping program and associate ourselves. So nothing much to do, no stock inventory, no staff inventory. It can be started on a one-man army level kind of work. Right? Now, like I said, there is no inventory, first thing. Secondly, there is no brick and mortar store. We don't need to go and find a place there and do any kind of what we call it, real estate hunting and infrastructure hunting. Nothing of that sort. And since none of these are involved, there is no fixed overheads. Fixed overheads pertaining to if we have any kind of a staff, then we pay the staff members. Now, since there is no staff, no fixed overheads. There is no travel, minimal travel. So again, anything that goes into that kind of account, nothing. No rentals there. Okay. So this is why it is also termed as the low cost of starting and maintaining the business. As long as the website is running, as long as we can monitor it, it's great. The business will still continue to run there. Second element that is there is location can be flexible. Okay. Location can be flexible in the sense that if we were working for somebody, or if we had a brick and mortar store, those are fixed. We have a desk. Supposing if I'm working for somebody, I have to go to their office or and work from there. If I have a brick and mortar store, then we have to go to the store, open it, and so on and so forth. The location is fixed. Here, there is no location. It is flexible. Today I'm sitting in India. Tomorrow, if Carol calls me to Boston and I happen to pay her a visit, all that I need to there is an internet-ready location. Okay. So across the globe, wherever you're sitting, whether we are on vacation, whether we are visiting family, whether we are visiting friends, all that we need to do is simply have an internet-ready location, and from there we can access our business as well as work. The third pro is we can offer customers a wider selection of products. Okay. In the sense that since we are just, not just, I'm sorry to use that word, but since we outsource our products from manufacturers, there are plenty of manufacturers, and we can look for the best product and get into an agreement with them and offer it to our customers. So if it's not that it's just a one-off kind of a thing. And as I had said earlier, also in shared earlier also, that wholesalers, they carry multiple products. So if we get in touch with a wholesaler who has multiple products and maybe various categories of the same product, we can tie up with them, and automatically our selection becomes wider. When we have a wider range, customers are more attracted to that. And the best thing is we are not carrying any inventory. There is no physical inventory that is being carried. So it helps a lot, when we don't have any inventory. No investments. Okay, all the investment is, the investment that is there is time. Of course, time is precious, no doubt about that. In the sense that we need to create those links and put them up on the website. But besides that, there is no investments in the term of any assets. We are not pledging any money to them. There is no, minimum or maximum or even a security deposit that is there. Right? So, it's a kind of a win-win situation that way. Besides that, one of the biggest hassles in business, any kind of a business which is physical, is inventory management or inventory management, as they call it. Because larger the inventory, if it doesn't sell, it gets stuck. It gets stuck, and that is the end of the business. Then we got to put up all those discount sales, go in 1 for 1 free or 3 for 1 free, and do all those kind of things, rack our brains in various directions. Now here there is no inventory management. We don't. This in its own self takes up a lot of time. It takes time to manage that. Number two, it takes space to keep that. Number three, it needs more manpower, and at the same time, the blood pressure is always pumping high if the inventory levels are going higher. So there's nothing of that sort here. And since there is nothing of that sort, we have lesser staff. Okay, lesser staff to deal with. So this again, it's not everybody's cup of tea to deal with staff. I mean, at times it becomes very, very overwhelming also. And then we have all those regulations about, whether if it's the US, then all those 401ks and, all the leaves and this and that and taxation. And also in India, the same thing. So now these are some of the, staff in its own self is a great thing. Now going over to some of the cons. Okay, every business has a flip side. Okay. Some of the flip sides, there are flip sides in this particular business also. And when choosing for any business, when going in for any kind of business, we also need to ensure that what is the flip side. Okay. Talking of flip side, first is low profit margins. Okay. I mean, there is an old saying there, which is of course true, money begets money. So when the investments are less, I would say lucky are those who can make phenomenal amounts of money, with the nil investment. But in the business world, I mean, that is simply an idea of, which is there. Since there is a low profit margin, not many individuals, prefer to take up this business there. Secondly, it is highly competitive. Highly competitive in the sense that to begin with, any individual wishing to start, any business online. One of the businesses, the base business models is this, dropshipping. Because we are not investing anything, like I said, all that we are investing is in a website and in the time. And besides that, nothing. So everybody wants to get into that. Profits are low. Second, since there is not much of investment, everybody starts with this business there. One of the challenges that we face in this particular kind of business is that there is no, or rather less control. No is also an appropriate word here. We don't control the supply chain. Supply chain means that if supply chain, like I had said, there are 4 elements of the supply chain here. Number 1, the manufacturers. Number 2, the wholesalers. Number 3, retailers, us. And number 4, customers. These are all elements, besides our own. O- Our shop is based on, these three pillars over which we can't control much. If there's a challenge with the manufacturer, there's nothing much that we can do about it, and just hope that things take a better shape. Similarly, when if when we are looking at customers, we can make the best of efforts to get customers in, but there comes a time when our customers of the door are not there. Similarly, with if we have a wholesaler there, and for some reason the product that we have published on our website is selling like hotcakes, and others have placed the orders quick. So, except for networking, or we don't control any of the elements there in the supply chain. Yes, if we were doing a brick and mortar kind of a thing, we could invest and we could get them in. Then, of course, the control is there, but not beyond that. The like when we say no control over the supply chain, besides these elements, we cannot control the inventory from multiple sources. Multiple sources means that our business takes off. We want the business to take off, and we start getting products from. We start listing multiple products. With the multiple products, along with the products, there is the flip side of that is that there are multiple sources also. We don't control them. More the number of people, more the number of sources, more the kind of the hawk eye over that. And if anything goes wrong there, it affects our business there. The retailers, unfortunately, this is this may seem a little bit overwhelming, but it is true, and we should be aware of it too, that a retailer or an online store owner, they are a middleman. We are a middleman in between the customer or the consumer, end consumer, or the and the wholesaler or manufacturer. Anything that goes wrong in the product that we are selling, we have to be at the mercy of the wholesaler or the manufacturer, because they are the ones who would address the customer grievances. And any delay on their part affects our business also, because we are the front face, we are the store, we are the front end for that business, for that particular sale. Number two, any kind of a delayed communication. A delayed communication, say if a consumer has a kind of a challenges or needs any kind of help, we would the retailer would get in touch with the wholesaler or the manufacturer. For any reason, there is a delay in communication. These days, social media is very active. Everybody is active on social media, and since they are active on social media, there's not much time that they take on to go on to both our site and the manufacturer's site to give any kind of adverse comments. Those comments affect us because we are or rather the retailer is the front face. So that is this is one of the challenges that are faced there. Not that it happens any day and every day, but once in a while. And even if it does happen, if it does not happen, we should be aware of these things. A small element there is also legal liability, but this is not big, because when we enter into any kind of a contract, for a drop shipping with any of the companies, we can, check this angle also. And if there is anything untowards that is there, We can stop it or get the contract modified. But nevertheless, this needs to be checked, especially when selecting any kind of an agent for dropshipping. The last is, in the long run of business. If we, at any, if we've started a business and we want to build a brand for ourselves, a brand is associated with a product. I mean, any brand that we look at, it is associated with a product. Here in dropshipping, what happens is that we have multiple products. Right? The products, they are delivered or they are branded by the manufacturer. Right? So it's not our brand. Now, since it's not our brand, then how do we build our brand? Okay. And a brand is something which lasts much longer than the business. Right? So here in the dropshipping, since there is no physical product, if there is no physical product that we are manufacturing or which we are branding, it is very difficult to build a brand. And, so this is something that is a negative in the long run. Right? Now, one of the, besides this, okay, I just forgot to say questions, if any, you can put them in the chat box, and or you can briefly unmute yourself and ask me also. No challenges with that, because this is purely, discussion, or as I would say, sharing information from from my slide deck. So I would welcome questions, if any, at any time. So,
I have a question.
yes.
This is Sana. You mentioned that my thing that I will be selling is something I created, and I'm going to have to go to a manufacturer to manufacture it for me.
Okay.
So I'm guessing mine may be a little different with the branding, because I will already have the brand since I'm the creator of the product.
Yes. In that case, in that case, you are. But then, who would be shipping the goods out? The manufacturer would be shipping the goods.
That's why I'm taking these classes, so I can find out how to do that. I haven't even manufactured the product yet, because I'm taking these classes so I can manufacture and get the shipping together and all that. So, okay.
Offhand, of course, I'm no specialist in that, but going by the academic knowledge that I have, there could be two things. I mean, of course, depending on the kind of inventory or the kind of agreement that you have with the manufacturer. If you are, there could be two phases. One, you get the goods manufactured, and what you call it, you just warehouse them at the manufacturer. It's themselves. Just leave them there and get a shipping agent who will pick the goods up from there and ship it off. That could be one. Then you have absolute control over both the product as well as as well as the shipper. Secondly, if the manufacturer is already having a shipping arrangement, and they would they would also be happy to do the shipping on your behalf at or whatever rates that are there. And that is something that you have to negotiate. Then, that could also be a second model. The third model would be, that since this is this is a first time venture for you, or you have some. Then, one of the things could be that you could connect with the manufacturer also and tell them that, this is a venture that I am planning, and this is what I intend to do. And I want your, just tell them at the beginning itself that, I want you to kind of create the product as well as stock it, as well as ship it for me. Take their costs. Okay. Take them.
I'm guessing these questions you're getting ready to tell us to ask is what I'm going to have to ask them when I contact them.
Yes.
Okay.
You could just tell them that now these questions that are going to come in. Besides that, I will also address. Now I know what you're looking for, so I will also address those points too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Now. No, Carol, it is not more than a regular business. These are businesses actually, Carol, which are more online. And since we don't delve much in the online, we are not used where, we don't use the online method all the time, except and until it's a very big brand name and we are sure about it. Okay. Now, for example, you wouldn't mind buying from Amazon, okay, because it's a brand name. It's a big name, and they have all the policies, refund policies, return policies, XYZ, and it's a big name. But yes, when it comes down to smaller, kind of a business, then it takes a little bit of a time to establish. That is number one. And number two, it pays. This is not any kind of a business which makes you a rags to riches overnight, or as they call it, you don't become a millionaire overnight. No, these are not those kind of businesses. But yes, the comfort with which you can get into this business, right, and build it over a longer period of time is much more than establishing a regular business. Majorly from the point of view of what we call as the investments. Right? The investments in a regular business are much more. The devotion to any kind of a business which is in the physical, which is more physical, in the form of any brick and mortar kind of a thing, that is much more. Okay. And if we do not follow that, okay, if we do not follow that, then the chances of losing money becomes more. Now, in this business, okay, if we do not have any investment, then besides time, and do not have means a minimal kind of an investment, then the losses are much lesser. Right? And if we really work on it in the long run, we can make money. Not overnight, that is for sure. Right? But yes, before starting the business, we have to do a lot of homework, which like for example, if all that we are set in our mind that say I just want to open a local grocery store in the neighborhood, that doesn't require that much of thinking, because we know what sells, what goes on there, we've been living there, and so on and so forth. Compared to that, yes, this is definitely slightly difficult, but more rewarding. That much I can tell you. So coming back, what have I done? I have just give me a moment, please. Okay, exit full screen, go down. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah. Now, one of the things that we would, if we are looking at, of course, we saw the cons, and now looking over, the questions, okay, to ask any kind of a drop shipping supplier. When we say drop shipping supplier,
So can we do share screen?
I am
I
not
mean
sharing
the
screen.
complete slide. The complete slide.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Ansruti, for letting me know. Otherwise, I would have just continued. Thanks, Ansruti. Okay. Now, when we say questions to ask a drop shipping supplier could be a wholesaler, who stocks, or a manufacturer who manufactures those goods. Okay. So depending on whomsoever it is, one of the first things is how much do you charge? Okay. Charge means what is the cost of a product. Let's put it this way. What is the cost of the product? Now, the reason why we ask this question is because we also have to make a decent profit. Okay. So if a product is already priced high, okay, then how can we add a decent profit to that? So the first thing, is what we need to know is how much do they charge for what is the price of the product. Okay. Secondly, is there a handling fee? Okay. Because various companies, various manufacturers, they work on various, elements. Their costing is very different. There are various ways by which they arrive at the final cost. Some companies, what they do is they charge a handling fee. Right? Now, first is the cost of the product. Subsequent to that, there is a handling fee, okay, or a service charge, something like that. So we need to find out that if there is anything kind of that, okay, or in other words, let's put it very simply, are there any hidden charges? Okay, because if there is a hidden charge, it is going to affect us. It is going to affect our profitability. Okay, because it may affect profit margin. Because if it is something, I'm not sure about how things work overseas, but here in India, certain tax elements are reimbursed, but not all. Okay. Not all. Certain elements are reimbursed. So if it is a reimbursable thing and there is a government mandate to that, not an issue. But if it is not reimbursed, and we have to cut it away from our profits, then definitely it is eating away into our profit. So we need, this question is also equally important. Okay. Thirdly, how are products shipped? Shipping involves, if we are looking at the process in its own self involves two things. One is the physical packing, of the product. It needs to be, we need to be sure that the product, it is shipped in such a way that it reaches the customer in good shape as it was dispatched. Number one. Number two, it needs to be tracked also. Okay. In the sense that if they have shipped the goods, like we see in any of whether it is a speed post in India or the postal services in the United States or any courier service, transport service, be it by air or by sea or by land, they give a tracking number, and there is a portal on which it can be tracked as to where it has reached. So we need to ask that, since the retailer is just passing the order to them, and the manufacturer or wholesaler is doing the shipping also. So this element also needs to be, addressed by them. And these are some of the questions, very critical questions, okay, that need to be asked. Number 4, the billing process. Okay. What is the billing process? Billing process is essential because it involves money. Money which we have collected, and at the same time, if it is a straightforward, even if it is a straightforward deal, any kind of a transaction that we do, there might be banking charges attached to that. Might be. I'm not sure. Depending on country to country, account to account, there might be charges attached to that. Ultimately, those charges are also eating away from our profits, no matter how small. It may be just 2 cents to $100, but even those two spread over an year could be a lot of money there. And besides that, it should be a good fit for the cash flow. Right? We know that on say in India, we have here that 7th, between the 1st to the 7th of every month, there is a payday. We hand out most of the payments here because it's monthly, to the wage, to a normal business. So if during those, and all the bills need to be cleared, supposing our business does not have, they are very adamant of the fact that when our maximum bills are being paid, they also want to be paid at that point. I mean, not necessary. We could ask them to shift, So the billing process and the dates that the bills are raised need to be at a date when the cash flow of our store is good. Right? Now, besides that, of course, there are a host of questions. I can also, elaborate on that, or I would elaborate on that during, in the notes that I will send out today. I will also elaborate on in some of the other things that are there. But now, certain tips, for dropshipping as such. One of the things is that we need to make the online shopping a pleasure. When we say online shopping, or whenever we say, let me put it another way, in simpler terms. Number one, since this is a website that people will be seeing, it has to be pleasing. It has to be aesthetically pleasing. Number one. Not going into building website details, but just from the other thing. Content needs to be good. Number 3, the most important thing, one of the important elements there is that it has to be user-friendly, seamlessly user-friendly. Seamlessly user-friendly means that when they click from here, say if there are multiple links, then when an individual or when the customer goes to another link, it should be correlated. It's not that the customer is trying to buy a notebook and he is being sent to a page where there are 30 other products. That doesn't work. Okay? Because like I have shared even in my previous sessions, it's very difficult to hold the customers onto your website. Okay. So make it, user-friendly, seamless. Okay. And I mean, one of the things that if there's a straightforward transaction kind of a thing, that, well, this is the thing, this is what they want, this is, they've paid for it, and then they are away from the website. You could devise another page by which they can come back to the home page and look for other things, or else if they have done, they can, just move off. Of course, we don't want them to, but then, keep it user-friendly and kind of seamless there. That is the the key to to a pleasure in online shopping. Yes, we could add this and that and do so many things there, not to do, especially in the initial stages, not to try and work on that. Okay. Then, another thing that is there is we have to be particular about products. Products in the sense that this I had shared yesterday also, that if we are offering a range of products, try and offer complementing products. Because complementing products, the chances of sale of a complementing product is more. And if we have a complementing product and a good, when we say a product means, a particular product, one, complementary product. Second, the quality of the products. If the quality of a product is not good, it brings about a very bad reputation. And unfortunately, one of the banes of social media is that people go to extreme lengths. So it's very good to be particular about products there. Okay. The third, and of course, another element is quality. Quality needs to be good, because the flip side of having bad quality products is we risk losing the confidence of customers. Okay. And let me tell you one of the things about, especially about online sales or online presence, is word of mouth. If you see any of these websites which sell products, they will always ask you that, can you leave us a review for review about the product, or how did you like our services and this and that. Even if you will visit any brick and mortar store also, they also tell you that, please, they also request you, could you please give us a review and this and that, because word of mouth, or, in the physical market, it's word of mouth. But on the, on the internet, it is about reviews. And if the quality is not good, unfortunately, if somebody is given a bad review, then, anyone else also wishing to come to our store will, have second thoughts about that. Then, not to look at it from that we will start making money overnight. It takes time. Rome was not built in a day. We need to give it some time. And, of course, even the best of strategies we adopt for a business, still some strategies work, some do not. What does not work, we will move away from that and then come to that level. But then we need that time. It's not that, everything should be perfect at the first stage itself. So when we build it, when we build a business which is based on trust, another way of enhancing this is to boost online credibility. What I was sharing earlier, ask for reviews. Any consumer, any customer happy with your service, or likes your service, or even a third party, there are if somebody is taking that for a gift, also has gifted it to any individual, just ask them to just write a review there, or post a picture, a nice product, so on and so forth. So this was about that. Okay. Any questions here? Any questions from anybody? Today I didn't stop for questions.
I need to know how to find a manufacturer, because I have created a product, I have applied for my patent, and now I need to find a creator. So will there be a class helping us find the right manufacturer, or do I just start looking? I don't even know how to start looking.
Okay. What is the product, if you may?
It's a pocket. You see that it's a pocket, but what's making it patentable are these clips right here.
Okay.
So you just clip it onto your body.
Okay.
and it's called a Foster Pocket.
Okay.
So I need to find a manufacturer so that I can start getting it out. Well, I've got to build my website too, but I need to be looking at a manufacturer.
Okay.
Are you in the US?
What did she say?
Are
She's
you in the
asking.
United States?
Yes, I'm in the United States.
Okay, the thing is you can take and be eligible in the United States for a mentor with SCORE senior. You just type in SCORE, SCORE and SCORE. And
Yeah.
the thing is they will take and match you with a mentor who can take and help you with business plans from womb to tomb on business taking and stuff.
Okay.
So it's SCORE, SCORE.
Isn't that the Small Business Association scores?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And what they do is they will take in what I'm just making this up because I take it in and say I do take it in it and I take and basically paint, but they will take it and match you up in with a person who has experience taken basically with whatever you're taking and dealing with, and we'll give you some guidance.
Okay, I'll make that contact today. Yes. Thank you.